Hi friends, welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we're gardening here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today I'd like to give you an update on our backyard renovation project. If you've been following along, we had big trees taken down, which opened us up to needing some privacy screening. It gave us a lot more sun in our garden areas, and it gave us an opportunity to kind of reimagine what our backyard is going to do for us and how it's going to look. So if you want to see the plans that we had before, go ahead and take a look at the old videos. But anyway, hold on tight. We're going to go and see what we did recently. The work in the backyard has been varied and yet the same. A lot of hours going into cutting edges of flower beds, cutting out old plants that we don't need anymore, taking out sod, putting in compost, putting in mulch, adding new plants in. That's pretty much what we're doing, but I wanted to give you an update on how things look now. I'm standing up here at the top of the backyard and looking down toward the bottom, and you can already see, maybe if you remember, this is a lot bigger than it used to be. So we've cut these edges. We finished that up today. It used to go like kind of between those plants right there and then in front of those hostas right along there. So all of this area right in here is new planting area that we created by cutting the new edge of the sod. So all these plants are old, but today I added in 2 new candy tuft. This is candy tuft snow surfer. Let's see, I forget what these 2 up here are called. These are Purity. This one and that one are Candy Tuft Purity, and then these are Snow Surfer. There's going to be a walkway down here. We're going to put some stepping stones down this way so that you can get from the patio down to the lawn without walking on plants. I added a new rose bush today. This is Summer Fashion Rose. It's a Floribunda, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's yellow with pink margins around the edges of the petals, so it's going to be beautiful. This is all new planting space that hasn't been used yet. We've got this ring of hostas. I think we're going to keep that there for now. It may change over time, but for now we're going to keep that there. And again, this is the Pieris that we added in recently. Camellia, Jerry Hill Camellia. Back this way, the new fragrant tea olive. And then today we also, let me just jump over here. Today we also added in this Daphne right here. Got it into the ground. So this is a nice fragrant plant. Spring bloomer. Looks a little bit like azalea leaves, but it's not an azalea. It is a Daphne. And it has pretty pink and white tubular flowers, and it's very fragrant. So that's a nice addition to this garden here. All right, and as we look out into the garden, one thing you might notice, the picnic table is gone. We got that taken out today. Let me go over here to the walkway so I don't step on new plants. Got the picnic table cut apart. We cut it apart with a saw and hauled it off. It's in a different part of the yard right now, awaiting trash, trip to the dump. So we have to clean out this area here. This is old mulch that we had mulched under the picnic table. We need to rake that away, get the soil prepared. Dave's got some sod set aside that he wants to lay down in here, but we'll probably end up seeding as well to fill in the lawn along here. We've got this Fothergilla in here. We may have seen that before. Today I transplanted this astilbe from a different part of the yard into here. What else have we done? I had to move my winter sowing over to here because I lost my table, but that's all good. These will probably end up on the driveway tomorrow. Another Fothergilla here. All right, today, this is all from last weekend, or maybe on Monday I did some of this work. I can't remember if I videoed it or not. Last weekend we got these 3 arborvitaes in, and I think on Monday I got the Rosa Sharon placed here, I got the false cypress placed here, and I got the 2 flowering quinces placed here. And today I put in these 2 lavenders. And we have the edge cut but not finished for the new lawn edge here. And last weekend we got this put in. This is the Chinese snowball viburnum. Over there we've got the 4 inkberry hollies. That's the shamrock variety. I've purchased a China boy holly right here. I had said before that I wanted to put a 5th inkberry here, but I think I'm just going to put the 4 and then I'll put the China boy here. China boy will pollinate 2 China girls that are going to go onto the other side of the fence tomorrow, and the dragon ladies, which we'll see here in just a second. I got the dragon ladies into the ground. So this is one, and there's the other 2 dragon lady hollies. These will be pollinated by the China boy over there, as well as the 2 China girls on the other side of the fence that will be pollinated with the China boy. Putting these 2 in here meant that I had to move around some things in here. So today I moved this arborvitae shrub, and I moved 3 hostas, which you can't see because they haven't really budded out yet. And also I've got some wild violets that I actually cultivate in my garden. A lot of people think they're weeds, but I love wild violets. And so when I see them in places I don't want them, I dig them up and I put them into places that I do want them. So I've stuck some along in here. And there's the tea olive that we got into the ground either last weekend or on Monday night. I don't recall. And then up here is the limelight hydrangea. And that got into the ground over a week ago, I believe. So that's the progress. It's looking good. The removal of that picnic table makes a big difference. Once we get grass growing in that spot, it'll make an even bigger difference. Oh, I should also mention that behind these 3 arborvitaes, Dave got some but not all of those trees removed today. So that's coming along. So I've said before, this looks like a big mulch garden, and it's not even finished yet. We don't even have all the mulch in yet. But I mean, all the plants are young. They're just small. So it's going to take a lot of time before the evergreens behind the fence grow up and give screening, before these arbs grow together and give screening. The dragon ladies will get taller and be beautiful background. So it just takes a while. So we have more planned for tomorrow. We're going to be continuing with the edging, with the compost spreading, and with the mulch spreading. Pretty soon, though, we're coming up on all the plants that I've bought are in the ground. I think we have 3, the 2 China girls, the 1 China boy holly to get in the ground. And that's all that I have remaining in big cans. I do have some quart-sized pots that I've purchased here and there that they can go in anytime. They're really easy to stick in. But, you know, pretty much we've got into the ground most of the stuff. So tomorrow's going to be about finishing up. Well, I don't think we're going to finish by any means in the backyard with the sod and the mulch stuff tomorrow, but we're going to continue with that. So that was a busy, productive day here at Harmony Hills today, and tomorrow promises to be even more of the same. So I will be back with you tomorrow to show you the progress, if not some things that have happened during the day. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. This isn't goodbye. This is just so long. I just planted my China boy holly. This is the male holly, which will pollinate and fertilize the 2 China girl hollies, which will be going on the other side of the fence, and he will pollinate and fertilize the 2 dragon lady hollies, which are over there on the other side of the yard. It's done by pollinators, bees, and other insects, not by the wind. So it's okay if they're at up to 75 feet apart. The bees will find him and find the girls, and the bees will know what to do. So you may have noticed that I mounded the root ball up a little bit above the original soil line, especially on the right, which is the downhill side. That's totally okay in my soil. The reason being, we have clay soil here, and while this particular soil spot was a little bit improved because of, over the years, lots of leaf litter and other organic material just settling down on here and not being taken away, it still is a clay-based soil, and so every plant that I plant, I tend to put up a little high above the soil line so that some of the roots at least will have a nice opportunity to drain away and not rot in their planting hole. I used some biotone starter fertilizer, and that has all kinds of microbes and good stuff inside, not only just the nutrients, but also some microbes and things that help roots to really grow and get established. I will be using Hollytone on these in the coming seasons. Probably I'll just look at the package directions. I think a spring application and a fall application is all you need, but I'll verify that by reading the package of the Hollytone bag. I will water this in real deeply right now, and then every 3 or 4 days for the coming season I'll keep it watered and make sure that it has all the water it needs to get established as a new plant this season. One last thing I always try to remember is to keep the tag and then record the information into my garden journal for the coming seasons. I have things that I've planted in the yard over the years, especially in the summer of 2017. I planted a lot of stuff and I didn't keep the tags, and I wish I had, because now, for example, I don't know what variety of redbud tree I have. I don't know what variety of arborvitae shrubs I have. So that's really kind of annoying. So this season I'm keeping all my tags. I got them in a jar, and as I go, I'm writing them down in my garden journal. That's a good tip. Well, this is annoying. Our hose is leaking, and every time I turn on the hose to water the garden somewhere, we get sprays of water running all over the place back here. So I'm gonna try to fix it. Try is the operative word here. You may see that we have, I'm gonna turn it off for right now. We have a splitter so that we can put 2 hoses on here at one time. Turn off, I say. Right now we only have 1 hose hooked up, but normally in the summer we'll have a second hose going down to the driveway from here. And so we can control which hose is getting water with these valves right here. And but what's happening is we've got a water leak somewhere in there, and it looks to me like it's actually in the connector between the hose bib and the splitter. So the first thing to try is, do I need a new washer? So I'm going to take this fitter off and see if I can determine whether I need a new washer. I have a package of new hose washers here, and so if that's the problem, it's a simple fix. So let's try that first. All right, now let's look at this washer and see if that's the problem. You see anything wrong with that? I don't really see anything wrong with it, but now that I have it off, let me just change it so that that's definitely not the problem. I got a screwdriver. All right, so that popped off with a screwdriver. I don't really see anything wrong with that, so I'm guessing that the washer was okay and that it was just a loose connection. So, but since I have it off, we're gonna go ahead and change it anyway. These washers are universal fit. They just go right down in there. Like that. All right, now we're going to try to put this back on nice and tight. The problem is it's really hard to get your hand in there. If I close these valves and turn the water on, nothing should spurt out. Let's see. We fixed it! I think it was probably just a loose connection after all, but now we've got a new washer in there. It should last at least this season, probably multiple seasons, and it's good to go. Yay, no more leaky water. I didn't even need my new splitter, which I bought just in case the splitter was bad. So we will be putting this one out on the front hose so that we can have 2 hoses out front. Well, folks, I'm not a vegetable gardener. You may have figured that out by now. I focus on flowers, shrubs, and trees. But sometimes when you're at the garden center or the big box store garden department and you see the little seedlings out there calling your name, you just can't help but allow a few of them to jump into your cart. And that's exactly what happened to me. I've been watching so many YouTube channels of wonderful veg growers, and they're inspiring to me, but I just don't have the sun for a vegetable garden. But I do have some spots that I could tuck in a plant here or there. So that's what I'm planning to do this season. I'm going to try my hand at tucking in vegetables throughout the landscape and see if I can grow some food in my flower beds. So to start, I've got broccoli. Yay! I have never grown broccoli before, and it might actually be a couple of weeks later than it should be for planting broccoli in my zone, but these are nice healthy looking plants. I'm going to put them into the ground here. I'm going to be using some compost to amend the soil. I also will be putting in some tomato and vegetable fertilizer. It's an organic fertilizer from Job's, and it is, I think, 473, so it's high on that middle number, which is potassium, I believe, which aids in root growth and fruit production. Actually, fruit production for broccoli, do I need that? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to do it. It calls for 1 tablespoon per 2-inch pot seedling, so that's what I'll be doing. So I'm going to put them right here between my azalea and my hosta in this part of the garden, which gets some of the most sun of anywhere in my yard, except the center of my front lawn. So let's put some broccoli in. Okay. 2 broccoli plants in the ground. I'm going to be watering them really deeply and keeping them nice and moist. This is broccoli variety Lieutenant from Bonnie Plants. Never grown it. I have no idea what's going to happen. I probably should figure out some protection from rabbits because we do have rabbits in the backyard. So I'll think on that and get back to you. So yay, broccoli. Woohoo! Mommy leave the gate open? Yes. And now the puppies figure they could go on a big adventure. You don't look very adventurous though, Miss Lou. You look like you just woke up from a nap. Happy news to report on the daffodil experiment front. Let's take a look. You might remember I found a bunch of daffodil bulbs in my basement and they had spent the whole winter there, and I planted them, I want to say it was in like mid-February or maybe even early March. I can't remember exactly, but I've got daffodils coming up here. I got 3 brave souls sticking their little heads up out of the soil. 4. Look, there's 1 too. 4 daffodils coming up here. Over here, I think I've got 5 or 6. So that's exciting. In these big ones, I don't see anything happening in here yet, but I'm gonna not give up on them yet because they just maybe need a chance. But in these little square ones, they're doing really well. We're gonna get a lot of daffodils out of that one and that one. Yay! So that's very exciting. Let's take a look at what's happening inside the not a greenhouse. It's been pretty warm inside there. I have this temperature reader right here, and it has a display in the kitchen, and it was reading at 92 degrees Fahrenheit earlier today. So I'm imagining I need to get some water on these plants. All right, let's see. Got some bleeding hearts that I started from bare roots. These are the labels off the boxes, and they're doing well. They are dry. Actually, they're not too bad, but tops are dry. I'll put some water on these. These are probably ready to go into the ground. Yeah, I think they're ready to go into the ground, so maybe tomorrow I'll get these in the ground. Get some water. Lemon thyme that I purchased from the big box store recently. It smells beautiful. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing with these yet. I don't know if I'm going to do it like a little herb garden or if I'm just going to put these into the landscape. I haven't quite decided, but they're so cute and they smell so good. Okay, this is definitely dry. This is a tray of cuttings that I took when I did my topiary project, and I'm trying to root them in soil. They are dry, so let me get some water on these. Oh, these are looking great. These are gladiolas. There are pink ones and purple ones. The pink ones I got at the Dollar Tree, and the purple ones I got at Lidl, I think is how you say it, the discount grocery store. And so they're all coming up pretty well. The purple ones are a little bit behind the pink ones. The purple ones were the biggest bulbs of the two, and the pink ones are actually coming up faster and stronger. So that's interesting. But they're all coming eventually, I'm pretty sure. I see 3 purple ones out of 6, and all 12 of the pink ones are coming. Yay! They need water too. All right, next up, these are more purple gladiolus that I got at Lidl. These are still pretty moist, but we'll put some water on them. I don't see them coming up yet, but I'm not going to give up on them because 3 of the purple ones came up in the other tray. So we'll just keep them nice and moist and give them time. Okay, back here we have ranunculus. These are the ranunculus corms that I soaked and then I put into about 2 or 3 inches of soil. Some of them are coming up very nicely. Others of them not so much. But that's okay. Maybe they're just slow. We'll give them time. We'll give them water and keep them going and they'll be fine. All right, and on this bottom shelf down here, I've got a lot of different things actually. This tray has 8 columbine, bare roots, and 2 Siberian iris. The iris you can see here on my left, your right. They're coming up really nicely. And the columbine, I see leaves on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 of the 8. So we'll just hope that those last 2 come along and join the party as soon as they can. But I'm going to put some water on these. They're doing really well. I'm going to take some of these columbines with me to my kids in Minnesota when we go later this week to visit. Also under here I have 1 globe thistle. It does have growth on it. It looks a little weird. I'm not sure why, but I'm going to keep watering it. I'll probably be able to put this out into the landscape probably around mid-April. April 15th is our last frost date, and I think, on the 15th, I'll look and see what the 10-day forecast says. And if it looks all right, I'll probably put this into the ground soon after that. It looks like it wants to get out of this pot. Although, I don't see any roots coming out the bottom, so I think it's still fine in here. Also under here, I have 3 dahlias. And I'm not seeing anything out of the dahlias yet. I got these dahlias bare root, but tubers at Lidl, the discount grocery. Ooh, look what I found when I just scuffled the top of the soil. Signs of life in the dahlia. This is Seattle variety. All right, yay, that makes me happy. Water, keep it going. I don't know if these other 2, this is Crazy Love and 2 Crazy Loves and 1 Seattle. Let's see. I don't see anything there yet. No, I don't see anything on the Crazy Loves yet, so we'll give them more time. Okay, so that's the update on the things that are in the not a greenhouse. And let me give you a closer up view. Lemon thyme. Bleeding hearts. These are ready to go in. I'll probably plant them tomorrow or Tuesday. And I need to wait until I know what I'm doing with those. Gladiolus. There are 12 pink ones there and 6 purples, but only 3 of the purples have come up yet. In the back I've got some cuttings from evergreens going. I'm hoping that they will take root to give me some new plants. On this row we've got gladiolas which have not sprouted yet. And then in the back, some ranunculus, some of which have sprouted. And then on the bottom, 8 columbines and 2 Siberian iris. And in the back there, 3 dahlias and 1 globe thistle. Liriope starts that look like this. The leaves on there are last year's growth, and you can see kind of this year's growth starting to bud up. There we go. And so I have a lot of these that I had dug up out of the border along the fence over there. When we widened the flower bed and cut the new grass edge, I took all that Liriope out, and so now I have a bucket full of these little plugs. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make little bunches of Liriope. I'm not going to make a whole border of it, but just little clumps. And I'm going to space them roughly on every fence post up the hill. And that'll just give a little repetitive foliage accent along that curved edge of the grass. And it'll be a nice, just, you know, a basic foundational kind of perennial to give some repetitive pattern along there. Another beautiful weekend here at Harmony Hills Home and Garden, and we got a lot done this weekend. Although I will say that yesterday our wheelbarrow tire broke, and so we started out carrying 2 5-gallon buckets of mulch and compost and sod around the yard, taking things from place to place, and that is hard work, and it really did a number on both my husband and I in terms of our shoulders and arms and forearms. So today we didn't do much carrying of buckets at all, so our mulch pile didn't really change today, but we got a lot of things done. So I think that I'm going to be putting in little video clips of all the different things that we got done, and so if I forget to name them all, I apologize. But I'll say also I didn't film almost anything that my husband was doing, but he got the lawnmower up and cleaned up and tuned up and ready for the season, and then he did the first mow of the season. He also did a lot of weeding and cleaning up of some of the flower beds on the south side hill to prepare those for mulch. I got all of the large shrubs and trees planted that we purchased for our backyard renovation. So I think what I'm going to try to do is pop up onto the screen an overview of our paper planting plan, and then I'll put little check marks by all the things that are already in the ground, and then maybe I'll see if I can highlight or circle or something the things that haven't yet been done. But we have made huge progress on the backyard, so I'm feeling really good about it. It's still only early May. No, it's still only early April, and a lot of the labor is done. A lot of the digging is done. We have a lot of mulch to move still, so that is going to be some hard work, but I feel really good about where we are. Today's Sunday. On Wednesday this week, we're going out of town. We're going up to Minnesota to meet our new granddaughter and say hello and give hugs to our son and daughter-in-law and our grandson. And we'll be there for some time. So I have some videos queued up to show while we're gone, but there won't be much yard work or garden work happening over the next week or a little bit. So thank you for your patience there. And in the meantime, what are you doing? How are you doing in your gardens? Are you doing vegetables? Are you doing flowers? Are you doing trees, shrubs, perennials, annuals, bulbs? What else could there be? Seed sowing, fruits, vegetables. What are you doing in your garden? Changing some hardscape maybe, putting up some structures. Let me know. Put in the comments below what your big plans are for this gardening season, and let's have a chat about it. Thank you so much for following along with me today and for being interested in our backyard renovation project. I'm so grateful for you, for all the followers that we have here on this relatively new YouTube channel, and I'm so grateful for all of you who stay in touch via your comments and let me know how you're doing and let me know that you appreciate what I'm doing here. If you liked what you saw today, please hit that like button, because what that does is it puts my videos in front of more people so that more people can enjoy what we're doing over here. So thanks so much for considering that. If you're new here, welcome, and if you'd like, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, catch up on what all we're doing around here at Harmony Hills. Yeah, so friends, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, and I will be back in touch with you again very soon. Thanks, friends. Bye-bye.